Diary of Helena, Chapter 15. "See you later, Brother Mike," I whispered to him. "He's still unconscious. I know that Brother Mike will not escape because, aside from Echo, he is guarding him. His legs are broken too. I guess Echo goodbye and told him that I wouldn't take long. I left Brother Mike with Echo because I need to do an important thing since I can't sleep and I can't take the red car anymore. I need to get rid of it." I felt mixed emotions and making the fuse of my brain spark, and I couldn't think straight anymore. That is why I need to get rid of the red car, and I will do it right now. I went to South Street and saw the red car parked at the front of the house of the family who shouted at me. It's past midnight and the surrounding is so quiet. The neighbor living 3 vacant lots away from them is already sleeping. I looked around to check if there was someone there, but the good thing was that there was no one. I drove slowly near the red car to avoid making noise because I planned to burn the car. But I get instantly mad when I see the man. I think he's the husband who left their house and went to the red car. I drive fast because he opens the door and run him over. "Ah!" he said in pain while touching his waist after rolling on the ground. I know he's in pain now, that is why I run him over again and until he dies. The wife went out of the house when she heard the noise and was shocked to see her husband lying unconscious on the ground. "Honey," she said, and she ran near to her husband. I saw her face almost crying and scared when she was about to ask for help. I ran her over too. "Ah!" she cried in pain too. Like her husband, she was also touching her waist, and she tries to stand up to ask for help. I got the hammer beside me and went down from my car. I went near the woman and hit her hard, twice in the head. Well, I saw her not moving anymore like her husband. I dragged her inside the red car and next was her husband. I let them sit like they are still alive and fastened their seatbelts. I drive the car to the vacant lot and pour kerosene all over and burn it with a match. I went back to my car and drove away. Enough for me to see them, but not for them to see me because I want to watch the next scene. After a minute, the daughter went out crying for help to put out the fire, and I guess she's about 20 years of age, taller than me, has long hair, and is bigger than me. She ran while shouting for help because she could see her parents burning inside, but they were already dead, so what was wrong with that? The fire grew bigger. The neighbor woke up just to help to put out the fire. "No!" she screamed, and she wanted to run in a burning car for help. Her parents got out of it because she couldn't believe that her parents were inside the burning car. But the concerned neighbor stopped her because they're going near the fire because it would be too dangerous for her. Each of them has a bucket of water to put out the fire, and one of the men shouts to call for a firefighter. I didn't expect that I would watch a lovely scene. They are all in a hurry while I am chilling, watching them until the fire reaches the gas tank and the red car explode. "No!" the daughter screamed. "No!" the daughter screamed, watching the car with her parents inside burn into ashes. "Wow!" I whispered with amazement. I wish Echo was here to watch with me, but I need to go now before someone would notice me watching the crime. I drive away, leaving the red car burning and the daughter grieving. They went all crazy because something happened that they didn't expect in the middle of the night that woke them all. I can't stop myself from smiling because I didn't expect what happened either. I didn't expect that it would be a success. I already got rid of the red car that makes me remember my nan's death. I will get rid of red cars in the future as long as I still remember the pain they caused me. While driving home, I saw a lady crying, asking for help. I think she's about my age or 1 year younger, and the two men are abusing her, pulling her hair, touching her breast, trying to remove her clothes. "No, please," she begged, and she was full of fear. I stopped and watched them in my side mirror. I saw the man trying to kiss her, but she kept on refusing. I know those men want to rape her. The young woman is about my age or 1 year younger than me. She has short hair that matches her pretty face. She looks like Tinker Bell in Peter Pan, and she's crying for help, struggling and fighting for her life. And I can see her from my side mirror. I watched them for a moment while whispering to the lady to fight for her life, but she looked so scared and just kept crying. I saw some wounds on her legs and arms too, and her mouth was bleeding. Those maniacs hurt her, still thinking if I would step in or step out. Drive away, Helena. That is not your fight, I told myself as I watched the maniac abuse the poor lady. I took a deep breath and okay, I can't take this, I whispered to myself. I got my hammer and went down to my car and went to the maniacs. Hey! I shouted and hit one of the men hard with my hammer, 5 times on the head, and when I saw him not moving already, the blood is squirting from his head, and I can hear and feel his skull is cracking. I went to the other man and hit him hard on his head before he got me. Hit him how I hit his body. I hit them continuously, non-stop, until their faces were erased and could not be recognized anymore. I stopped when I got tired. I sat on the ground and looked at the dead man lying in front of me. I am so sticky and my dress is covered in blood. My hair is so messy and my 3-year-old is dirty. I heard the lady still crying. I looked at her and I saw her clothes torn apart. Almost half of her breast is showing because of those maniacs who tried to rape her. I stand up and walk near the lady and give her my hammer. Hold this, I said, but she didn't hold it as if she couldn't hear. I said, hold this, I said louder to wake her up. She keeps on crying. She is not even looking at me. She's staring at me dead body of the 2 men who tried to rape her. She looks traumatized. Hold this, I said to her again while still giving her my hammer full of blood. Same with my hands. She blankly looked at me and hurriedly took the hammer that I gave her. She's still crying and scared, not to the man who tried to rape her, but she is scared of me because she witnessed how I killed those maniacs. She couldn't even talk, so I left her alone, crying with my hammer, and I drove home. Outside the house, Echo is already waiting for me. She looked so worried because it took me a long time to come home, and he got more worried when he saw me covered with blood. After I parked my car, I went down and walked near him and gave him a hug and kiss. You miss me? I asked, and I went inside the house, and he followed me. I saw Brother Mike with his head down and eyes closed. I almost forgot about you, I said, and touched his chin to make it look at me, but it seems that he is no longer breathing. Is he dead now? I asked Echo, but he didn't answer. He's only looking at me. I didn't kill you, I said because I remember he was still breathing when I left him. I dragged his hair to the dining area while Echo was silently watching me. Mom and Dad, this is Brother Mike, the one who molested me when I was only 6 years old. I introduced Brother Mike to them. Why didn't you tell me? My mom asked, but I didn't answer her because it was too late for drama. I didn't know that you were abused, Daddy said while looking at me. I smiled at him and rolled my eyes. Oh, Fernanda, because you didn't know anything, I said. I looked at John and Cross and I looked at Brother Mike again. Enjoy your stay here, I told him and taped his shoulder, and I went to the living area and sat on the sofa while Echo was still looking at me. He takes a deep breath and what happened to you? He asked. He saw me full of blood, almost the whole of my dress covered with blood. I lit a cigarette and smoked first before answering his question. Nothing, just unexpected happenings, I answered. I looked at him and smiled. I am okay, babe. When I saw the worry in his eyes, I puffed the cigarette again, started telling him everything. First, I went to the side street to burn the red car, but saw the husband and wife leave their house and I got mad. I ran them over, I killed them and put them inside the car and burned the car. I told him like I was telling a fairy tale story to the 3-year-old child who is seriously staring at you and waiting for every word that you will say. I didn't expect that the fire would reach the gas tank and that makes the car explode, I added. He was surprised by what he heard and asked for more. To tell him more about what happened during the hours that I am out, I watched the daughter cry, who still went crazy because they didn't expect that something would explode in the middle of the night, and then I left them and was about to go home. I saw a young woman who is a lady. She is crying because there is a man who is still trying to rape her. I told myself not to care, but I can't not to help her. So I got out of the car with my hammer and smashed those bastards hard on their heads until their blood pours and their skull cracks. I told him, and he is quite still listening to my story like a kid. That's it. I saved a young woman's life. How do you know that she is a lady? He asked. Because she's young. I think younger than me or just about my age. She's pretty, has short hair, young woman or lady or a girl. It doesn't matter. Men tried to rape her and I helped her, I answered. So where's the young woman now? He asked. Nah, I left her with my hammer. She's still crying and traumatized. She might tell you to the police, she said, still worried. I touched her face because she is so cute when she gets worried. He is like a child craving for a lollipop when he gets worried. The blood stained on her face, but he didn't care. I think not because she can't speak, she can't even talk or look at me. She is traumatized. I said, and assured Echo that everything was under my control. After my cigarette, I went upstairs to clean my body covered with blood. I removed my dress and took a bath because I felt so sticky. It's been a long time night, and tomorrow is another day. I have another plan to make and another mission to accomplish. But I could slam my car, removing the blood stain that caused a piece of evidence against me. What happened is still playing fresh in my head. From the car that I burned and exploded and turned up to the lady I helped. I didn't regret what I had done because burning the red car eased my pain when for a little bit. I don't care how many red cars that I will burn in the future. The important thing is it will ease my pain and takes to Belinda for making a red car hater, or should I burn her?